This is the start of a little series where I'm going to be delving into the recorded projects for a bunch of our tunes. No Rain, No Flowers and some older ones as well. And just giving you a little zoomed in view, finding little fun bits in there that we've hidden in there, talking about how we recorded it, how these tunes came to be, and hopefully you find it somewhat entertaining and somewhat informative. So without further ado, let's crack on with track 1 of No Rain, No Flowers. It's Orange Sunshine. This is what the mix file looks like. And yeah, this is kind of new to me, so bear with while I go a bit and work this whole thing out as I go. Let's just run it from the top, and I'll point out some little nuggets of fun.
Long lazy day.
Yeah. So the verse. This verse is very word painty, trying to paint this picture of this orange sunshine. You're seeing everything's very washy. It's so in order to create this kind of sense of space and floatiness, I guess, we've gone very light on the bass. So the bass here there's lots of gaps in the bass.
Long lazy day.
To leave it to sort of float on top. You've got these little pad sounds, are quite fun. This little tape stop effect, like you're poking a tape. Here we go. Quite proud of that effect. That's for all of you using Logic. That's just a little slow down, speed up. These little orange things here. Yeah, so that pad is actually 2 layers of. I think that's the Logic Mellotron sample. Mellotron is an old sort of not synthesizer, sampling instrument. One of the really old ones, used a lot in the 60s. Lots of famous tunes. Beatles used it a lot. But yeah, there's one in Logic Pro that I've used, stuck some wobble on it and a load of lo-fi stuff. This is one of my favourite plugins. Retro Color makes things sound even older than they actually are. And then so we've got that layer, and then we've got this little detuned something patch, which together makes this nice floaty full sound. And then we add in the guitar, nice delayed little ding 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 ding, very sparse. Everything's very sparse at this point. And the bass in there, just very, very light. I don't know what else. I think there's just drums left. That's the only thing that's left to put in. Nice little pattern there from Sam. I think we were writing this, when we were writing this, we'd gone to this little Airbnb in Clacton, Clacton-on-Sea in January. It was very cold and wet and windy, but we were in this flat, me, Ollie and Jake, doing some writing stuff. This was one of the songs that Ollie had the hook for the chorus idea, and we were fleshing that out. And we'd sent some bits to Sam and Dave, and they sent us back demos, and this was one of the drum beats that Sam sort of sent back, which works quite nicely. It's got quite a nice lilt to it with the little claps at the end there, and then obviously the vocals coming on top. So that's the building blocks of the verse.
Long lazy days.
Loads of delays on the vocals.
Lying in his haze, orange sunshine is bathing me, wraps around and it's easing me. Flutter.
You can see all the automation I've done to. So these things here are where the line goes up, that sends more of Ollie's vocal to a delay unit, and I've got a few different timings set up. So here we can have.
Flutter all those flags in your backseat. Come alive, I'm in a corner. Look at me.
That's a really obvious one.
We're just growing with the flowers.
flowers. Tons of delays. A lot of these are sort of tips that I picked up from our producer who did work on this and that with us, and who's kind of been a bit of a mentor for me. All these delay tricks and stuff. And yeah, so that's the verse. That's basically all there is to the verse. There's not much going on there. There's this little synth riff that comes in at the end, which leads nicely into the pre-chorus.
Loved up on red, white. By all means, take your time.
I love that. That's good, that. Little clap number. Oh yeah, and then the pre-chorus, so the drums, Sam drops out the snare, so there's no snare, and it kind of settles it down a bit. So we're going from
Follow around to it in twice. Mumbling drunk words, loved up on red, white. By all means, take your time. We're just growing with a flower. It's been cool.
And then we're into the chorus, which is yeah, Ollie had this hook. It's been cool lately, and he had some vague ideas of chords, and it all really clicked when we were just playing around it. I picked up piano sound. It felt like a kind of piano-y thing, and then synced up the piano part with the vocals to get the chords to move in sync, which it really adds to the whole feeling of it.
I think I can go deeply for you. No.
It's that little when we got that in Clacton, we were very excited about it. And yeah, that's I think that's me playing the piano. I think I asked Josh if I could record the piano for this track because I'd sort of come up with the whole thing, and quite pleased with it. Quite minimal. Still, this chorus is quite minimal. This whole song is quite laid back, really. And Dave, of course, has put in some really delicious bass line here. Let's go with the drums. Ooh. Oh no, it's... Oh. So that's that. And the other thing that we tried out in this tune for the first time, we've never done this before, is having Ollie singing with the guitar. So there's the vocals are in octaves.
It's been cool.
And then it also doubled with the guitar, which gives it a sort of George Benson vibe, I guess.
Oh, it's been cool. Go deeply for you.
I think there's... Oh yeah. So that's that. And then loads of delay on that. Now. Oh, the horns come in as well. How could I forget the horns? That's my thing. That's me. Very minimal horn parts in this. Just kind of doubling the melody here. So coming in on the ba-da. Really just like minimal. And then rounding off the phrase. So the way I like to write horn parts, I'll probably repeat myself on this point throughout all of these videos, but really finding the gaps, finding the little lulls in the melody of the lyrics where the horns can come in and kind of bridge the gap. So this delays do that job there, but then here we go. So while he's holding the U, bit of interest to get you to the now. And then delays all the way out through there. And then in the second verse, so this second verse, Ollie went down a really nice sort of spoken wordy kind of thing. I feel like it's got a kind of Van Morrison kind of vibe to it, which I kind of like. There's an album that my dad used to have in the car every time we went on holiday, that it was one of his car albums. Van Morrison's Enlightenment, I think it's like from the 90s. Slightly obscure, but it's just got some really nice words in this kind of style. So when Ollie started scatting stuff in that kind of vein, I definitely pushed him towards committing to that. So this second verse, what changes here? So we got the first verse, very sparse, bass not doing too much at all. You can see the bass here has got lots of space in it. And there's just the pad, and that's it, and the big guitar. So, oh, crikey.
Long lazy days.
So really nothing going on. So the second verse needs to be different. It needs to be a different shade of the same colour, I guess. Oh, look at me go. So here we got the Plinky Plonks, is what Glenn, my mate Glenn, who sort of gave me a lot of help mixing this, he kind of came in and he renamed this the Plinky Plonks, so that's what it's called now. So we've added, if we take that out, it's not that dissimilar. There's probably a little bit more. Oh yeah, so those are the two new things. So it's going to be back to the pads. Bass is going to be doing a little bit more. The drums are basically doing the same thing. And there's some horns as well. Let's take those out for now as well. So yeah.
Look around and everyone I see love with all my heart.
So that's the same sort of texture.
Wash away the view I have from you.
With a bit more bass.
Paint a little mental picture quietly.
Oh, they're coming in through in there. Okay, sorry. Don't worry about me. But yeah, so that's the same sort of textures. Let's take those 4 bars.
Look around and
Don't ruin the surprise, man. So that's basically the same texture. Same texture as those ones. So we need to add something a bit new. Dave's doing a bit more filling on the bass. He's filling a bit more of the space. But then we also added, so the piano's been introduced. Shush. The piano's been introduced in the chorus. So now the piano's going to continue with a bit of a nice little rhythm. And then the other thing that gets added is the Plinky Plonks, which sound like this. Get a bit of guitar picking. Oh yeah, guitar picking and synthy things. So that just gives it another little layer. And those little. I remember Ollie. There's a lot of moments like this in the studio. Ollie would be sitting behind me, would say, it needs some more little like clucks and dings or something. No, just a descriptive word, and I'm tuned in on the same wavelength as him. So I'm like, yeah, I know what you mean. I got you, bro. Fiddle about with the synth for about 10 minutes, and this is one of those moments. So let's listen to the chorus without the piano, the verse without the piano, and the Plinky Plonks. Still very mellow, but then we add those 2 layers back in, and it sounds a bit fuller, a bit more motion, a bit more movement going on. And then the horns have their little moment where we fill in the gaps of the melody.
Look around and everyone I see love with all my heart. Rainy day could wash away the view I have from you.
Wash away.
Paint a little mental picture quietly. Gently hanging on the walls.
And then a little pad.
Took a while to take the long way home.
Keep it moving forward.
I tied her eyes and stuck in.
And then sync up the vocals.
I smile back at her. Another day will come. Grow with the flowers.
Same pre-chorus.
By all means, take your time. It's been cool.
It's been cool, baby. No, it's been cool lately, is the lyric. So we're going into the chorus here. Chorus 2. Now, ignore me if I'm repeating myself, but horns-wise, anyone who's ever played horns with Bear Jams knows about my notorious habit of never repeating myself in the horn arrangements, or kind of repeating myself but it being different every time slightly, just because copy and paste is just a bit, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. I like things to be evolving constantly, don't want things to be too rigid. So in this tune and a lot of the tunes, the horn lines in the chorus will develop over time. So the horn lines in the first chorus, if you remember, let's have them with the vocals.
Ooh, lately, I think I can go deeply for you.
Really simple, not much going on there at all. Second chorus, we're going to take that doo-da and we're going to extend it earlier. We're going to start it earlier to sort of, in the same way that we've done the bam 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 on the Deeply for You. Just to fill that gap, we're going to fill in the gap on Cool at the start as well, and slightly expand on that. Bam bam bam. Here we go. That's Kobe.
It's been cool lately. I think I can go deeply for you.
You get the idea? And then double chorus. So double chorus is a chance to add in something different, a contrasting idea to that first. Those sorts of things, they're all stemming from the first chorus. This is chorus 2. It's got a new idea.
It's been cool lately.
Kind of copying the vocal line, which also has a harmony on it as well, which is very nice. And then it carries on.
I think I can
back to the first idea. And then
just going with
into the bridge. So yeah, kind of the way writing horn lines, I tend to have a little idea, get the first couple of ideas in, and then just see how far you can take those ideas. So there's only, apart from the verses, there's only like 3 different horn ideas in this whole tune. They've just been deconstructed a bit. Let's listen to that chorus as well with everything else and see what else we've added. Is it any different to the first chorus? Yeah, it is. What's different? What have we changed to elevate it a little bit? Well, first thing I noticed is there's a bit of shaker. Just add a slightly faster rhythm in there. The drums have gone onto the ride cymbal from the hi-hat, so that's the bass I think might be slightly more involved, or maybe not. It sounds very heavy, doesn't it, that bass on its own, but the piano might be more exciting. Gets a little bit busy in the second half, which is nice. The guitar is still doing the... So not much has changed, to be honest. It's mostly just that, adding the shaker with the double time. They're going onto the ride cymbal with the thing, changing up the horn lines a bit, adding that vocal harmony on top there. On the second time around, I think it is.
It's been cool lately.
Yeah, that's kind of, yeah, chorus 2 101, add shaker and ride cymbal. And then we go to the bridge. And the bridge The bridge, we're going to take that piano idea from the first verse and put it onto the chords for the bridge, which kind of do an up and down kind of motion. Slightly different rhythm. It's the same rhythm but missing a note. Keeping that note held throughout. There's a little pedal there. It's good to have little constants to draw you through. An impossibly wide piano chord there with a little on top. It's recorded separately. Studio Magic, baby. Right, let's listen to the bridge with everything in so you get some context.
Just grow with the flowers. By all means, take your time now. This moment here is.
So you've kind of got all of the elements from what's happened before in there. So we've got our little plinky plonkies. They're in there. You've got the piano from verse 2 kind of rhythm. The bass is just doing a quite simple thing with the drums. Just grounding it really solid. Driving it forward. And the vocals is taking the pre-chorus melody and expanding on that, which was Ollie was struggling with this one for a while, and I'd been pushing for him to just take the pre-chorus and expand it for ages, but it took a little bit of convincing. Got there in the end, and I think it sounds really cool. Really ties it together. It's all about doing as much as you can with the material you've already got. Trying not to add too much new stuff, which is the same that can be said for the horns, which are just an expansion of the start of chorus 2. Same things. I've heard it all before. Nice crunchy chords. Yeah, that's a fresh idea in the end of the bridge there. Just a little moment, something that only happens once. A little bit you can come back and listen to. I remember also recording this guitar and getting Ollie to just really take the mickey, take the absolute schmeichel, and draw out that last guitar note for ages and ages. Go on, keep going. And then really ring it out. Yeah. Ooh. And then the old mute. So that is that the same note as the piano? I think there's a different note to the piano. So that's all going throughout the whole thing. Builds the tension.
Settling slow. We are the garden. We're changing with the wind. We are the two.
Lovely little vocal harmony there.
Still settling. It's been
Man, that little drop there took a little while to come together production wise. That was the little reverse reverb on the piano as a classic trick for that sort of thing. Without that, it just sounds a bit dead. That bass slide as well. It comes out of nowhere, but it is excellent. Proper like never too much intro vibes. Sub drop. Yeah, it's just kind of everything just stops, isn't it? Classic. Classic thing. And then back in on beat 4. And then we're into the last chorus. Which is just everything we've heard already before. The horns are up an octave now though, rather than being lower. The guitar is the same. I think there's a pad. There's now pads in the chorus, which weren't there before. Bit 80s. The piano's pretty busy, I think, as well. I think Dave's probably going off on a little bit of tangent as well. Actually, it's not too dissimilar to the rest of it. So this last chorus goes 3 times around. The horns repeating themselves. Nothing's new here, apart from this last time here. So this is the kind of expansion of single ideas, or kind of I guess this last idea is the full idea, and you cut away the stuff earlier. So this is the first chorus. This is the second chorus. And then this is the very final chorus.
I think I can go deeply for you.
So just taking that just, yeah, recycling material. It's the way to go. So that's what changes in the very last chorus. And then the other thing that I am a fan of is sleigh bells, not in a Christmas context. So the last chorus has this little mark tree, this chimes thing, which leads into it. And then also, surprise, I love that. It just adds another little extra layer to the tambourine. I think the tambourine doubles up at that point as well. Yeah. So yeah, see if you can hear that in the actual thing.
It's been cool,
So there, left ear.
I think I can.
It's just very subtly, just adding a little bit more sparkle. Yeah, and that's Orange Sunshine.
It's been cool. It's been cool.
That's funny, you can kind of hear headphones in the background of that.
It's been cool.
Interesting. And then, yeah, that's how it ends.